Okay, so I'm out running an errand right now, and I happen to check the trades. And what do I see? I see a story that says that Kathleen Kennedy and Kevin Feige are working together on a Star Wars movie. And all I can probably do is go, oh my God, what the hell? No, seriously, it's big news. For a couple of different reasons, it's big news. So the first one primarily is this goes to show you the absolute state of Star Wars from a cinematic perspective. Obviously, them wanting to slow things down in regards to the next batch of films is far worse than we thought. Now, I thought that, hey, 2022, 2024, 2026, that's, a long off ways. And I understand they want to slow it down and recalibrate, bring in Dan and Dave and everything else. But this kind of says that for the most part, they either want to ramp it up or they only want them to do one movie and then move on to something else, which could entirely be the case, right? I mean, given everything with Game of Thrones and how people received season 8, even though I liked it, you can't deny that there were a lot of people out there who were wrong about hating it. That being said, Kathleen Kennedy is a good producer. So she brings in another producer who's going to be the one to kind of take the ball and run with it, then that's going to free her up to handle the other aspects of the business. And it would actually give Feige the opportunity to just be a creative. And Feige is great at being a storyteller. We know this from the 23 Marvel Cinematic movies that he has overseen and everything to come with Disney Plus and Phase 4, Phase 5, everything else. But it's entirely possible that he's burned out on Marvel. After all of these years of working on it, no matter how much you love something, it could just be too much. And honestly, if I'm being fair, I think the Spider-Man deal might have seriously impacted him. And I say that primarily because that was a big deal. He legitimately cared about Spider-Man. He wanted the deal to work, and he made it work, and then it fell through, and he probably blames himself, and he's probably a little bit upset about it, as he has every right to be, every reason to be. But this could be what gets him out of that funk. This could be how Kevin Feige gets his groove back. Maybe people are looking at Phase 4 going like, hey, you know what, man? Like, maybe you don't seem that excited about it because maybe you're just a little bit tired. And he's like, well, then I'm going to go play in a galaxy far, far away and then come back refreshed. That could be an entirely other thing too. But it could also mean what a lot of us have been saying for quite some time, where Kathleen Kennedy is a good producer, but she's not a good runner of Star Wars. And just imagine for a second, if Kevin Feige comes in, starts developing Star Wars alongside doing Marvel films. Like, he brings in Marvel Studio people that he trusts, that he vets, that he hires, and they take over. And it just seems to me like that is probably going to be the best course of action, what they're probably going to do. I know that they just hired that Michelle Rejwan, who's going to be the VP, the lady in charge of all the live action films. And yet here we are watching her just get booted to the curb already. I wouldn't be surprised if she goes after Rise of Skywalker comes out. If I'm being honest with you, I think that's probably what's going to happen. Or she just gets downgraded to working on the Disney Plus live action shows, like overseeing Cassian Andor, overseeing Obi-Wan, and overseeing whatever else is going to be coming down the pipeline. Again, those are just kind of how I see things playing out. But at the same time, watching Kathleen Kennedy kind of give up control to Kevin Feige does give me hope for the future of Star Wars. Feige, love him or hate him, knows how to put together a franchise. And that's exactly what Disney's always wanted to do with Star Wars. They wanted to turn it into Marvel. We've all known this. I don't think they've really kind of like hidden away from that at all. But the problem is that they dropped the ball. They wanted to continue a storyline that was already pre-created by somebody else, and they needed to find a way to finish it before moving forward. And now I think this is what we're going to see. Is I think what's going to happen here is that whatever they're going to do, Feige is going to adapt something that fans are really going to like. And I think it's going to be Thrawn. If I had to guess, it's going to be Thrawn. If I had to really guess, if I had to just reach into maybe my sorting hat of wishes, if you will, that's a weird reference, by the way. But if I had to reach into any of that, I would sit there and I would say that what they're going to do is they're going to go to the EU. You know why? Because Feige is good at adapting storylines. Storylines people like. Keep in mind that the Marvel movies so far have effectively followed a storyline, an already pre-written storyline that they've adapted. Now, what does Star Wars have a lot of? The EU. What do fans want more of? The EU. What's Kevin Feige good at? Adapting pre-crafted stories. Who is one of the better characters in the EU? General Thrawn. I don't know why I'm out of focus. General Thrawn is a big one. Mara Jade is a big one. They could go in and do the young Luke Skywalker saga where he meets Mara Jade and they have their kids. They could continue that story going on to basically at this point completely, I don't know, bring back Luke to what people want. Think about that. Sebastian Stan in a Kevin Feige produced young Luke series, and I've already predicted this for Disney Plus, but I could be wrong. Once they're done with Falcon and Winter Soldier, they could be moving over to doing this for Luke Skywalker. Now, people out there may not want that. They may not want to see that. They may not care about that, and I understand it. But I don't think it's going to freaking matter. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to adapt popular storylines from the EU and make them canon again because it serves multiple purposes. One, the writers already have pre-established material to pull from, so that's good. None of this, let's make it up as we go along and mystery box the hell out of this. Thanks, JJ. It gives them pre-established characters that people already know and love, and it gives them the opportunity to tell different aspects of George Lucas's original trilogy, at least post the original trilogy, into a time period that is considered beloved by fans who have read the EU. I think that's where it's going to go. I think that's what Feige's getting brought in to do. He's great at adapting all this stuff, and it just makes the most sense given the circumstances. Now, I could be wrong, and it could be an original story. It could be Feige sitting there going like, you know, when I was a kid, this is a story I wanted to tell. And you know what? It would probably be good. It would probably be really, really, really good, and I'd be okay with it. But in the meantime, man, this is big news. This is crazy news. This is, oh my God, news. And I just had to stop. I had to literally pull my car over. I don't have the kid this time, so I'm not complaining about that. I had to pull my car over and talk about it, all while fighting this stupid damn autofocus that sucks. Anyway, look, I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. Good, bad, or the other. Do you think this is good? You think this is bad? You think this is what in the goddamn? Well, I want to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and may the force be with you always.